KCK police officer has been shot and killed in the line of duty. His name is Captain Dave Melton. The official name, Captain Robert David Melton, although we understand that he went by Dave. He was responding to a call of shots being fired in KCK just after 1:30. Police arrived to the area, confronted some suspects, and a brief chase began.
That took them over to 22nd and Haskell, a couple of miles away. That is where Captain Robert David Melton was shot and the suspects fled. Now, police wrote that area off. They arrested 2 suspects there. They do believe that there possibly are still people that they are looking for in connection with the shooting on the run right now.
As you mentioned, 2 people in custody right now. We have a team of reporters fanned out throughout KCK. We want to get right to 41 Action News reporter Lexi Suter. And Lexi, what is the situation where you are at 22nd and Haskell?
Well, Mike, the scene just cleared. As you know, we've been here for several hours, and this is where Captain Melton was shot and killed. We did see a couple evidence vans drive away just in the last 15 minutes, and there were several officers congregated here behind me, and they had just left as well. I did get to talk to one of them, and I said, "How are you doing? We're praying for you guys." And he said, "I don't think it's sunk in yet for any of us." He did tell me that other area departments are helping to answer KCK's calls right now as they all kind of come to terms with this and grieve this. As we know, earlier the mayor spoke, the police chief spoke, and they said, "We are still struggling with losing a detective just over 2 months ago." I mean, it is beyond devastating for this community, for the whole metro area, and for this country that we have to report another officer was shot while doing his job. I did capture a moment that, if you pull that from my Twitter, you see a photo of that officer consoling a neighbor nearby who was watching this unfold, right in front of her home. They had a moment, they were hugging, and that's what I think is really important for people to see at this point. Of course, the search now not happening. He didn't think that there was anybody else that they are looking for. At first, we thought they were searching for more suspects that could be responsible. Right now, we know at least one person is in custody, and those officers getting some time to now grieve the loss of one of their own. We're going to stay right here, and if we see anything, we, of course, will bring it back to you and report it. Mike?
All right, Lexi Suter at 22nd and Haskell. As you can imagine, information flowing, and we're trying to confirm things as we learn it. But the bottom line, for the second time in 2.5 months, KCK has lost another one of their police officers in the line of duty. Yeah, just in May, of course, Detective Brad Lancaster was killed in the line of duty as well. We want to get out, though, to Brian Abel. He is live at 2nd and Edgerton. That is where this whole thing started. So, Brian, what do we know at this point? Walk us through this.
Well, Rhiannon, we know that there was multiple shots that were fired here. We talked to some neighbors that said between 15, 20, maybe even more shots. We're seeing some of the remnants of that, some of the evidence of that out in the middle of the street here. And you see this group of folks behind us here, ATF agents as well as KCK cops. They were just inside taking a look at what looks to be a bullet hole right in that window right there. We also see officers right now. They are going on the sidewalks here. They're looking down at the ground. We saw a whole line of them, more than 30 officers of law enforcement, various between ATF as U.S. Marshals. There's also Wyandotte County Sheriff's Office. They're right now knocking on doors here as well, trying to find any information to help them with their efforts to piece together what happened here when multiple shots were fired in this area. Rhiannon?
All right, Brian Abel, live there. Thank you for walking us through that. Now, just moments ago, police actually searched a home near 16th and Quindaro. They're looking for the gunman. That's right. 41 Action News reporter Allison Bruner is there, and she's been figuring out exactly what's happening there with that part of the investigation. Allison, what's it like where you are right now?
Well, you guys, just moments ago, there was a slew of police here at 17th and Quindaro in Kansas City, Kansas. But I want to have you guys pay close attention to this home behind me. I'm going to have Dale zoom in there. This is where police were in this home for quite a while. The neighbors living inside here would not speak, or even on camera, they would not speak as well. We did shoot video earlier. Take a look at this video. Strong police presence, as you can see here along Quindaro Boulevard. Again, this all comes moments after law enforcement started searching for those suspects that could be involved with this officer's death. Police also towed away a car. No confirmation right now on whose car this was, but this was near the scene. They were investigating just moments ago. Now, I did speak with a man who lives along this street. Take a listen to what he tells me he saw and heard just hours ago.
I was in my house laying on my couch, and I heard sirens shooting down the street, and I heard the helicopter come over, but it kept hovering. And it made me come outside, and as I come outside, I see Kansas State Trooper set up in the middle of the street, had his gun drawn towards a neighbor down the street, and I didn't know what was going on. It was just so many police. I was just like, wow.
Yeah. Now, several other neighbors I spoke with off camera, as well as a local pastor in this community, tell me situations like what happened today need to stop. In Kansas City, Kansas, Allison Bruner, 41 Action News.
Allison, thank you. We are learning more about the life of service Captain Melton lived. His LinkedIn page shows he made captain with the KCK Police Department a little over a year ago. Before that, he was a sergeant for more than 8 years. During that time, he also worked for the Kansas National Guard. He joined KCK PD in 1999 as a patrol officer. Before that, he was a police lieutenant with the Wyandotte County Sheriff's Office for nearly a decade. That is a combined 25 years in law enforcement. We also know he attended Mid-American Nazarene University.
Well, a short time ago, Kansas City, Kansas Mayor Mark Holland said his department, of course, is full of grief yet again.
He also asked for prayers from the entire community.
41 Action News anchor Cynthia Newsom is live right now at the University of Kansas Hospital, where so many officers from across the metro descended once they heard the news that Captain Melton had passed away. Cynthia.
Yeah, they did indeed. And let me bring you up to date. Within just the last 5 minutes, I can tell you that a small motorcade led by about 4 Kansas City, Kansas motorcycle police officers left this emergency room exit and headed westbound towards KCK. There was about 7 or 8 cars in that motorcade. We do not know if that was the family or other police officers, but it was private cars that left this hospital. And earlier, there was a police unit that was protecting the entrance here to the emergency room, and then hospital security guards. Both are gone right now. I was at the news conference this afternoon at 4 o'clock when Mark Holland talked about this death affecting not only Kansas City, Kansas, but of course people across the country with what's going on. Here's what he had to say.
Our city and department just went through the tragic loss of Detective Lancaster in May. We're still, obviously that's a lifetime of healing all by itself. And so we have a lot of grief already in our department. For this to strike again right now with a lot of energy and a lot of pain in our nation, we're aware that this is not happening in a microcosm. But we just want to encourage everyone not to jump to conclusions about what has happened today.
KCK Mayor Mark Holland asking for prayers along with the police chief of Kansas City, Kansas. This is a tough time for them because it is the second officer involved death here in the last 2 months this year, and it's definitely an open wound, as he explained there.